Hey everybody, welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host Chris Bello and it's just me today. It's been a while. I know I've done a lot of interviews lately. I wanted to take some time just to reflect on the year. It's been a crazy year, 2019, almost over, and 2020 is quickly approaching. So I will say that my positivity, my constant optimism, it's been something that's been tested at times during the year. And I know I always come off strong. I'm always very, very positive, optimistic, fearless, seemingly from the outside. But yeah, this year, I guess I had some big goals for myself that I didn't quite hit. And I mean, of course, anything can happen. There's still a couple more days and weeks left here at the end of 2019. But at the rate that I'm going, let's just say that it's not looking like some of them are going to happen. So for example, I wanted to hit 150 grand this year in terms of real estate income, and I'm not entirely even sure where I'm going to fall because I haven't been great at tracking it, and the expenses have been kind of shotgun all over the place in different marketing attempts and things that I've tried out. So I can say that I'm probably not there yet pretty confidently, even though I don't know what the exact number is. I had a lot of hopes for the growth of my YouTube channel and my podcast, and those things are slowly but surely growing, not as quickly as I want, but of course, when in life do we really get things immediately? Anything in life worth having takes time and effort to achieve, right? Otherwise everyone would have it. The example that people talk about, for example, is like a six-pack. If it was easy, everybody would have it, right? But it's not. It requires a certain type of discipline, diet, workout. It's very difficult to achieve and maintain. And for that reason, there's such few people that have a six-pack. I think I have like a four-pack. I've been working on getting the six-pack, but for some reason, the bottom two abs are always super hard for me to get. But that's besides the point. You're probably at a similar spot. Many of you in my audience. I mean, some of you may have just crushed those goals, gotten way further than you thought you were going to do, which is amazing. And then for others of us, where you may have set goals that were super big, that you thought were a bit of a stretch, and that you knew were going to be difficult, and now you're realizing that you're probably not going to hit them. You might start feeling like a failure, or like, maybe I'm not destined to hit goals this big. Maybe I'm not good enough to do it. Trust me, I have all those self-doubt, the self-limiting beliefs like that, and I ask myself, are you really capable of this? Like, should you just delete everything and go with your tail between your legs and get a job or whatever? We all go through different emotions and different challenges that we need to overcome, but at the end of the day, it's really important to just continue to show up every single day. Wake up every day is a new start. I do my morning routine. I make sure to change my state. If I'm not feeling good or I'm not feeling like doing something, I do that morning routine. I think positively. I think of the things that I'm grateful for. There's so many things in life that we should be grateful for. It's easy to take things for granted and just be like, look at Instagram and see all the things that other people have that you don't have, and it's easy to feel that lack in your life when you're overlooking all the things that you have. Like here, I've got a roof over my head. I've got these amazing books with thousands or millions of dollars of potential knowledge in them, and I've got a whiteboard over here with goals and dreams that I'm working towards. This technology right here where I can just record into this video, into this microphone, have it all saved into my computer to share with thousands and thousands of people across the world within seconds of me uploading this, and seconds of it being scheduled and posting out to the world. Like, how incredible is all of that? I'm already living better than people were hundreds of years ago, even royalty back in the day. I've got a cell phone, I've got Wi-Fi, I've got unlimited data, I've got a car. Like, this stuff's pretty good today, but it's still easy to say, well, I don't have the kind of car I want. I don't live in the house that I want to live in. I don't have enough money in the bank account. I don't have enough food in the fridge. I don't get to eat prime rib or like prime steak or whatever the word is. I have to eat like the crappy stuff. Think about how crazy that sounds. We have so much to be grateful for. So yeah, just before you start to get down on yourself, if you have not hit your goals for the year, think about how far you've come. What if you had not set any goals? You wouldn't have gotten anywhere. And even if you did, you wouldn't have been able to measure it because you wouldn't have had a baseline. So the fact that you set goals to begin with is reason enough alone to celebrate at least that you took the initiative and you wanted to change something in your life. That's why I've set goals, and that's why I work towards them every single day. And trust me, I've gotten a lot further than I would have ever imagined. Like where I am now, since I quit my job in 2017, like I've gotten so much further than I thought that I would in certain areas, and I have not gotten as far in other areas. For example, my growth mindset, taking cold showers in the morning, just having a whatever it takes attitude, all of that stuff did not exist a few years ago when I was the corporate drone. Now, I'm just like a machine. I take those cold showers. I feel like I can chuckle and just have like that evil laugh that, oh wow, this doesn't affect me. I can't even imagine what else I'm capable of that I'm holding myself back from currently. And then in the areas that I thought that I'd be doing better at, that I'm not quite there yet, like the financial freedom, the consistent income, like being at a point where I feel comfortable, at least like I'm matching or beating what I used to make before. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still very much in the startup, bootstrap, try something out, something works, I feel like it's going to take off, and then I feel like it falls apart and maybe it doesn't work and maybe this idea was wrong. It's just a roller coaster of emotions. I get a deal under contract, the buyer backs out. I got a listing, awesome. We had an offer accepted, great. Their financing fell through the week it was supposed to close, and now it's back on the market. And so I was kind of upset and sad, but now there's showings, and there's 2 showings in the same day, which is great. And now I'm excited again, but of course doesn't mean anything until I get a written offer. So that kind of stuff is what I've been dealing with over and over and over this year. The wins, the losses, the excitement, the failure, the doubt. It's just a roller coaster of emotions, and you have to make sure to keep your stuff in check. So if you can relate to this, I mean, shoot me a DM. ChrisBello09 is me on Instagram. I've been working on posting more and getting my game up. I don't really know. Do I need to post like a lifestyle or just motivational stuff? It's just me posting about things that I think are important. So I post a little bit about my life, a little bit what I'm doing with my family or whatever. Some motivational stuff, a couple motivational quotes, and then me doing work in real estate. So I'm still very much trying to find my way, and I've had some good success in terms of meeting people, converting leads, doing some marketing that has paid off and been fruitful, but I'm still working on tweaking it and dialing it in. All I can say is to make sure you're showing up every day, you're learning from your failures, you're networking with the right people. This is huge because they can save you a lot of time and headaches if they share information on what worked, what didn't work, and they're a few years ahead of you. That will speed you up in terms of your success, because instead of you going through the same path and dealing with the same failures, the same struggles, the same challenges, they can tell you this didn't work, go use this, try this out, and then talk to this person and you're going to be set. So I know I was all over the place today. I just wanted to check in and see how you guys were doing with your goals. Make sure you're staying motivated and showing up every single day, regardless of what is happening with your goals and with your life. And this is me hyping myself up too, because I've had a few of those days where I'm just like, man, things are not great like I want them to be. I feel kind of alone sometimes in this journey of entrepreneurship, of waking up and planning my day and going throughout my day, and everyone goes to their jobs and everyone goes to work, and I kind of go to a couple coffee shops and I go to my brokerage office and I get some work done, and then maybe I go on an appointment with a client or I grab coffee with a friend, and I stay in touch with people, but I still feel like I'm unsure if this is the right way, the right journey, or if I'm not focused enough. A friend actually recently messaged me on Instagram, and this was very helpful because I was talking about how I was feeling down and comparing myself to someone on Instagram who was successful, and he was successful at an earlier age than I was. And my friend messaged back and was like, hey man, that's good for that guy, but like honestly, keep doing what you're doing. It's great. It's working. It's going to pay off. People appreciate it. And he said, growth in all ways. Always. So that was really cool that you're growing in all ways possible and you're always doing that. That was like, bam, perspective shift, paradigm shift. I realized like, Chris, you've come a lot further than you were giving yourself credit for. Like celebrate those wins, celebrate those little wins, and then continue to go towards the goals that you still have for yourself, that you're still working towards. But make sure to take some time to pat yourself on the back for the things you've actually been successful with, because it's easy to just continue to beat yourself and be hard on yourself and say you're not good enough and you're not winning fast enough and you're not doing enough. And then you can simply overlook all the cool things that you have accomplished, all the people that you have touched, that you have positively impacted. Because throughout this year, for example, I've gotten so many DMs, so many people resharing my story on their Instagram stories and saying, like, if you need a great podcast, listen to this. Man, this stuff was really what I needed to hear today. That kind of stuff is so cool. And it's easy to forget about all the little messages I've gotten throughout the year. But when I sit here and I think about it, I'm like, I've actually gotten quite a few messages and become friends with people on Instagram. I've met new people that I've done podcast swaps with. And it's great new relationships that I hope to keep in touch and lively going forward. But yeah, with that being said, I hope everyone's been having a great year, that the end of your year finishes out strong, and that you spend some time with your friends, your family. Spend some time really being grateful for everything that you have and everything that you've accomplished. And then start to, if you haven't already, of course, set your goals for 2020. Maybe realign a little bit if you got off path, or if you started focusing on things that you shouldn't. Pull the line back in and get focused, and make sure that you are pulling the right levers that are going to make the changes in your life that you're looking for. So with that being said, that is all I have for you today. A nice and short episode, kind of like we used to have in the beginning of the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast before I got carried away with all these interviews that end up being about an hour. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out. My inbox on my emails is just like super spammed out right now, so I'm easier to contact if you shoot me a DM or tag me on something on Instagram. That is my main platform I'm on right now. Yeah, with that being said, I will let you all go. Have a great rest of your day, a great week, great rest of your year, and finish out strong, plan for 2020, and then listen to the next episode of the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I've got more interviews lined up. I've got other people with amazing messages and amazing stories that I can't wait to share with you. Talk to you all later. Bye.